Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? This is Catching Up with Wajeeh. This is the third episode, I believe, and today is October 8th. It's almost 1:30 a.m. and the weather here has gotten a bit better. I got these here. The Don't recommend anyone to smoke, but this is Captain Black Cherries. Never tried that before. I'll probably try it maybe after the video, or let's see. Anyways, I was just reading up on black mold. That's something seems like a quiet something that kills you quietly, and it doesn't really show up. So something to be aware of is black mold, and usually you get that indoors where there's cool and dark and damp places, specifically the washrooms, the near the AC ducts, and perhaps even inside the AC ducts. And yeah, I just heard my phone. Why, duty calls. But anyway, I gotta get this episode done. I had to talk about vitamins as well. Something a lot of people miss out on are vitamins. I think it's pretty safe to say that everyone should take creatine or creatine, whatever, you know what I mean. Creatine is something that is really important. And no, I'm not talking about your nails, the keratin or the chitin. I'm talking about creatine. The other day, I was trying to explain it to my father that this is something compulsory now. It should be in your daily routine. It should be something like, you wake up and you brush your teeth, right? And you put toothpaste and you brush. So it should be something like that. You should take creatine like that. And he kept referencing it as medicine, which was, it's pretty hard to explain that sometimes, because no, it's not a medicine. It could be categorized, or it should be as a vitamin, or like a nutrient, or I wouldn't call it a nutrient. It's something like a supplement would be a good word, I think. It helps you, man. It really does help you, just overall with brain health and heart health. Keeping your keeping your recovery up in terms of when you get tired, could be from work or could be from working out, and it helps you recover. So yeah, man. And if we talk about the Desi parents, the typical Asian parents, it's pretty hard to convince them, and it takes a while for them to understand that there's a difference between medicine and supplements. And supplements is something that should be very crucial as they age. I hope your parents out there are, more understanding. And if you hear the zap sounds, it's just the electric insect killer killing the what do you call those, fruit flies. And yeah, man, it's crazy how social media, it's also a sort of, I want to talk about this, like social media, it's like it's like one of those things, where you say, you know you assume that the devil, let's say, that the devil is scary and has horns and teeth, and has a chainsaw and stuff, and it's roaring or something, it's scary. It's actually not not that way. The devil just comes at you, comforts you, looks nice, looks good, is very convincing, and that's how he or it gets you. Because we don't know if, you know, the devil has any, you know, maybe it's a transgender or some shit. I don't know. Because I assume for out of all the things, I would 100% blame freaking the devil for this mischief of mixing genders and stuff. Could be all sorts of stuff, different types of imbalance, different types of chemical imbalance in the head or in the body. But anyways, back to the topic of the social medias. It's like the devil, It's there taking your attention. It's letting you enjoy, letting you have that cheap dopamine hits. If we talk about, if we discuss the chemistry of it all, the effect it's causing, it's depleting that, taking away your time, taking away your attention. It's making your brain adapt to something, because the brain is neuroplastic. It's making your brain adapt to easy, cheap dopamine, so you get less focused doing hard things, doing the long process, perhaps trying to work, and delayed gratification, that's something as well. And usually delayed gratification, once you taste that, it's one of the most addictive things if you're in the right state of mind. However, all these algorithms and social medias and cheap sources of dopamine, they rewire your brain into thinking this is pleasure, just scrolling through feed, laughing, and 1 minute you're laughing, the other minute you're shocked, and you're just sending and doing, and that gets your brain rewired into a sense where, people start developing all these different freaking syndromes and mental health crisis, and it's like, they're fucked up because they maybe, they weren't just born right, or something happened to them. Of course, those exceptions are there, there's no doubt about that, but I feel like an enormous percentage of people actually do it to themselves, sometimes unknowingly and sometimes knowingly, that it's affecting them, be it a little bit or a lot. And I think social media is, how Ozempic came out and everybody was like, holy shit, yo, we can get thin now, it's completely fine. We have hope for people who are freaking slamming down 3 cakes and 5 pizzas in one day, and you're like, what the fuck, this guy is looking like the whole dinner table, he's just taking 5 seats on a family table and he's just eating by himself. And those people have hope now because of Ozempic, right? But see what happened. People started fucking, melting and dying and getting all sorts of failures in their organs and having all these health issues because of Ozempic. And I feel like you could see that because Ozempic works faster, quicker, and gets you results. And social media, I feel like somewhat in a similar way, it's letting you have that joy and happiness and excitement and everything. But at the same time, it's chipping away at you. It's chipping away at something. It's taking something, and sometimes you don't get it. You're like, why the fuck am I on this freaking phone all the time? Like, what the fuck? You get that realization every now and then, but you brush it off. it's rewiring your brain. I feel like that's what it is. It's taking away the ability or suppressing the awareness that maybe looking at it all the time is a bad thing. I think people should become aware of that, and a lot of people have become aware of that thanks to so many different people mentioning that, like Andrew Huberman, Jordan Peterson, you could say that, and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of people I can't remember exactly. Joe Rogan, I think, also mentioned that, um, and a bunch of other people, man, I can't remember. So, yeah, I think we look for an easy way out. That's one thing, we want results in one day. Whether someone accepts that or not, everyone at some point in their life were looking for the quick solution, the quick way to feel good, the quick way to achieve everything, the quick way to happiness and everything. I think that's not it. it's it's just not realistic. You should chase something, and I don't mean chase in that sense, but chase it, look for it, thrive for it, work for it, sweat for it. You give it your all, and then when you get it, it's worth it. Definitely, it's worth it. And just like a couple of hours ago, I was just sitting down and trying to finish up my work, and then I saw this. This was this is a post on Instagram, and the guy who posted, his name is the Ross Sharpness. I don't know if it's AI or not, but the thing that's written here was something to read, and I wanted to read it out. Do the work. Do it when nobody's watching. Do it when nobody but you thinks it'll work out. Do it when everything's falling apart. Do it when everything's going great. Do it when you have every excuse not to. Do it no matter what, because your business won't build itself. Your physique won't carve itself. Your goals aren't achieved with magic. Goals come with work. Work comes with resistance. Overcoming that resistance is the price that needs to be paid. Not just once, not just twice, but every damn day. If you want to grow, the resistance needs to be faced. Your excuses need to be destroyed, and the work needs doing. It doesn't care how you feel or if the entire world is against you. All it cares about is that it gets done. And if you want to go to bed satisfied and proud of yourself each night, then you have no choice but to look resistance in the face. Rise to the challenge and do the thing you know you need to do. And it's like, yeah, everybody knows that, right? But nobody actually does it to understand what it feels like executing all of that and then understanding what it actually means. And I'm not saying that I'm a perfect guy and I'm just like you guys. Experiencing it all. I remember once I was with two of my friends, much older than me. They were in their 30s, and the other one was in his late 40s. And the guy asked me, the guy in his 30s was telling the guy in his 40s about me, like, look at this guy, he's getting shit done, he has this and this and this. And the guy in the 40s looked at me, he's like, what do you want to do? What's your plan? What's your goal? And I remember, like, those days I was doing crazy work hours, bro. and I still am, and I'm happy, I won't say I'm happy, but I'm content, like it's better than doing nothing. Because nothing breeds some shit, bro. Your mind starts creating problems and they're not actually there. So it's better always to chase, not to the point of exhaustion or burnout, but to the point where you feel like you've done something. That's something very important. Most people don't do that. I've seen that, especially in their young years. Sometimes these things make you or break you, and then most people realize that later in life. But it's better maybe if you can realize that sooner, because that will help you later out in your life and getting your things in order. Anyways, getting back to the experience that I had, the guy in the 40s asked me, what's your plan, man? How's it gonna work out? How? And he was looking at me with the, I could see like he was expecting a whole plan and structure, and and I remember the feeling I had going into that meeting. Like I was tired, I was not feeling it, I was just numb, but I was like, I'm gonna get this done. I looked dead straight in the eyes of both those men, and I said, honestly, I don't know, but I'm taking one day at a time. I don't know what the future looks like right now. I know it's good, but I'm taking it one day at a time. And both of them had this weird looking expression. I couldn't decrypt it. I couldn't understand or break it down, but I was like, yeah, you know, I'm just a human as well at the end of the day. Yeah. So social media, I think people suffering with weird stuff, just look around, man. Try to find a solution. And if there is no solution, then you need to fix yourself, build yourself up. And I'm not here motivating, but I'm just here saying the obvious things, perhaps. Sometimes you look at the obvious and you're like, it's not that, man. It can't be that. But maybe it's just you not taking enough sleep, or maybe it's just you not taking enough vitamin D, or not working out, all these small, small things, man. I really wish people won't suffer, because I've seen and experienced a couple of times. I wouldn't want that for anyone, man. You would rather be happy, and this is something huge coming out of me. You would rather be happy dying in battle or dying for purpose than suffering. You would be even more happy if you're suffering in battle or in pursuit, rather than fucking just in your own misery. It's never worth it. And if you ask me, like, fuck, I don't know what to pursue, man. Pursue your faith first. Get your groundings right. And once you actually believe that and start rewiring your brain, you start you find purpose, man. If you look for it, you'll find it. So social media, in short, is just making up a lot of in the coming future we are gonna see. I'm amazed, actually. Like, Ozempic got sued for like billions of dollars for all these you know people actually suffering for all these stuff, mental disorders or like body harm and stuff, from Ozempic specifically, using the drug. I wonder, like, when is, let's say, the social media is gonna get that lawsuit where, holy shit, this sort of algorithm or this sort of use has gotten a whole generation of people downhill. But the thing is, you're doing it willingly, so it's pretty hard to pinpoint it. It's like almost like a zombie virus. It's like a zombie virus. Everyone's getting bit, but it's subconsciously, and then it's like you know what I mean? Pretty crazy once you realize that, like, there's no stopping it, but it's also your own doing in a way. Perhaps not enough awareness in that sense of the consequences that you or me or anyone else in the world actually feel later in their life, and try to fix it. And I was also thinking, like, therapist and stuff. Actually, I feel like therapy is, this is pretty, I'm being very rude perhaps, or pretty bad at, but if you ask me, like, what is it, exactly? I see therapists something like this. Therapists are people who untangle the rope. Your mind is like a rope. It's like a rope. And you being dumb and unaware, you start fucking making all these mental loops and troubles and fucking life, experiences and situations and everything. And then your mind becomes fucked. And you don't know which knot to open. And you look at it, you're scared as fuck. I can't face it. I can't face it. So the therapist is a pro, untangler in a way. He will open up this rope one knot at a time, one knot at a time, until it straightens up and you realize it's straightened up. And if you have the courage, I know this is fucking risky, and not everyone is the same. Not everyone's rope is different, and it's differently tangled, and I understand all of that. But if you have the courage and if you have the ability, I think you could fix it yourself. You can fix all these stuff. Just look at a wall. Neval, that guy, he said something pretty cool. He said most people are afraid to sit by themselves because they'll be scared of themselves. That's profound, man. You do that, and I've done that, and I was scared of myself. Let's be honest. I'm no fucking angel. I'm not a perfect guy, and it was hard, man. The first 3 weeks were pretty fucking brutal. But there was light at the end of the tunnel, and here I am. Now I could sit by myself without a phone. I'm actually pretty proud of that I'm able to do that and understand that and be content with that. I'm just letting you know, man, it's possible. Yeah, and I want to take a pee break quickly. Let me drink some blue water. This is just electrolytes. I'm gonna go piss and come back. Give me a second. It was one of those places where you had to run. Time was of the essence. It was like a geyser, man. Like a haven't been drinking enough water, so trying to catch up on that. It's pretty important. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, man, it's hard and easy at the same time. I'll just say that. It's also pretty good if you can find something where you really like it and you're really passionate about it. And if you really pursue that, You will find success, but do not be deceived that you won't feel the tiredness, the feeling of I don't want to. You would think that you would not feel that, and yes, that's true. You won't feel it for the first 3, 4 years, 5 years. It catches up. It all catches up, and but if you really do like it and you're passionate about it, you'll just come right back up, with a new set of vision and goals and shit to do. There's always shit to do and there's always work to be done. You just need to be committed. Yeah. We're gonna jump on something that fucking annoyed me. Really annoyed me. Now we have this white guy calling himself Surya Krishna. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Look at this shit, bro. What the? He's a master healer, spiritual teacher, and I'm pretty sure he's fucking bisexual or something like that, like gay or some weird shit. And he called himself like a male and a female at the same time, and he has an extra chromosome, which resulted in the syndrome, which he is. And some of these kooky people, master healers, master whatever the fuck baiters, they all talk about this self-love. That's the one word that caught me. I get that. But I think these people are obsessing over it. There is self-love. That's why you're doing the work. That's why you're pursuing it. That's why you're getting things done. It's over focused. That's what I'm trying to say. It has become something that people are just obsessed with. Oh, how am I feeling? Oh, am I self-loving? What the, I mean, it's pretty hard. But let me be very honest. Yeah, you have to accept who you are with the good and the bad. But you're not supposed to, go in the corner and start hugging yourself and, you know, doing all this weird stuff. It's hard for me to, say it as it is because there's a lot of people that actually do it, and I've seen a couple, not many, a couple of people. And I've made sure never to actually meet them again. And that's what I was saying. I'm biased in my own sense. I'm flawed in my own sense. But I tend not to hang around the type of people who have this weird fucking, energy coming from them. And I don't mean it like energy, like these kooky people, like how they act, how they behave, how they handle or carry themselves. It just feels fucking weird, bro. Why are you wearing different colored slippers and one of them is not even this the size that your foot should wear? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's so many things, man. The kooky fucking society, man. Kooky fucking society. I had a really, like, I heard a lot of people talk about AI. I don't know much about AI, but from what I'm getting is AI is supposedly on track to becoming something that can cure and do everything which is pretty profound, right? You can't deny that. AI will do everything and anything, and in the literal sense, it will get the work done at any cost. Okay. You take that into consideration and you think about the Antichrist or the Dajjal, let's say. And I don't know how AI is gonna have one fucked up eye, but you know what I mean? Yeah, what if they do some Frankenstein type of shit where they grow this humanoid and stick it with the AI, like Resident Evil type of shit, and then that thing just starts, doing miracles and shit. And that was just coming to my mind. What if that is the Antichrist or the Dajjal? And then you think about it, like AI is being powered by so much energy. It requires so much energy and so much focus and all of these things. I wanted to discuss Gregg Braden as well, but it seems like we don't have enough time to actually go through it. But let's make it a little shorter and let me get that done as well. So Gregg Braden was discussing all these so many different topics like breathing and how to calm yourself or how to slow down your stress or panic and stuff like that by touching your heart, which had some sort of an effect for sure. And breathing is, of course, well documented. What's the benefits and stuff like that. Meditation and stuff. All meditation is just prayers, I would say. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying my perspective. And he spoke about the human body in a scientific way, where he said like every cell is like a transistor, or like it has the capacity to hold a current, a volt, 0.7 volts, if I'm not correct. That's what he said. And our body is made up of 3.7 million cells. So the potential electric capacity or the current that we hold is 3.7 million, which is insane and crazy to think about, that our bodies are just these self-sufficient they think about it, our bodies are the ultimate technology in a sense, where we use food and we chemically make energy by breaking down organic matter and then using that to stay alive and making sure all our functions, organs, body, brain, everything's working, which is pretty crazy to think about, right? Like, it's just not possible that suddenly this freaking nuclear of a human who's doing all sorts of this stuff was just spun out of the universe, That's pretty fucking insane to think about. And then Gregg Braden also said, like, we are different. Us humans, we are different from all the species that we find of these long skulls of ancient humans, we say, or Homo sapiens. We're different from them. It's pretty hard to actually think about these certain things, because Darwin's theory is there, but it's not actually, it's debunked pretty much. I think evolution and adaptation are pretty much there. For me, what it seems like, evolution is something that goes for millions of years, perhaps thousands of years, and then there's like this shift, this change, this evolution, this adaptation. And adaptation is something that happens like on short periods. Like this is an adaptation, this is an adaptation. After a couple hundred years, there is an adaptation. A couple hundred years, this is an adaptation. Like I was reading up on this, where about 80 to 90% of deer died somewhere in like Alaska somewhere. I think that's where it is. I'm not 100% sure, but it got so cold. Let's put it in short. It got so cold that 80% of the deer population died. So why 80%? Let's think about that. What happened to the 20%? Well, there was a freeze storm, let's say, where the temperatures were minus 30 something for a week. And this was one of the major causes of this die off, this death of the deers. And there's no cover out there, you know. So what about the 20%, you say? Well, let's say 10% of them, God knows how, they found some sort of shelter, right? Or they barely made it through. But the 10%, those were the survivors. They were tough enough to survive through that, and once they breed, they will pass that genetic adaptation to their offsprings, and thus these deer become more resistant to the cold, sudden temperatures. And you know, I would say this is how over the years adaptation perhaps gives, you know, this way to evolution, where enough genetic material adapting gives the brain or the body this signal where it's like, bro, you just need more hair, or thicker hair, or something like that. Or, you know, and then the evolution finally happens, and you know, it spreads through. This is just my perspective. I'm not a scientist. I'm just an observation, you could say. And also Gregg Braden discussed there's this battle going on, which he said it in a way where it was pretty pretty cool, but I'm not able to say that. But essentially he said there has been a battle that's going on before we even were here, you know, before we even came to. And it's a battle for good and evil. I was like, damn, sounds pretty cool. And he said the evidence is there in the religious texts, in all the religious texts. And there's this good and evil. So it's pretty cool to think about it in that way. Changes a lot of things, you know. It tells you what's the agenda behind. He was also mentioning the same things, like the social media, and of course I'm just absorbing his information and saying it out loud here, like he's saying out loud. There's no difference. All credit goes to him, Gregg Braden. Yeah, it makes you think about what more things are being, what more things are there that we are just not aware of yet, you know, and that's slowly taking away our humanity, in a sense, our humanness. That's what he was saying. Yeah, man. I think this is it. I'm done for today. Just gonna head home. And yeah, I'll probably catch you guys tomorrow. See you. Or I might not, because I might be going out fishing tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Anyways, take care. This is Catching Up with Wajeeh, and I'm Wajeeh. Peace.